Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rekaha, Kwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops, salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black only thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. And this is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And don't get it twisted, all right? The primary group of the Israelites here on earth today are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Out of that comes the 144,000, the judges, who are going to judge under the authority of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, all right? And then the rest of the elect make up the scattered that are scattered abroad among all nations. James 1:1 starts off saying, to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, greetings. So they're scattered among all people, and the Lord is coming to gather them up from among those people, which is a glorious thing, and we're all looking forward to that day, and that time is near. And meanwhile, we're going to occupy until he returns. So this is a part of that work. And just like the brother here, arrows of indignation, this is the spirit that the Lord has put on him to do these short pieces like this, which are helpful to the ministry, very great. I use a lot of his material. So we're kind of like tag team partners in a way. Guess you think about it. And I have quite a few of them out there. I guess we all are really the men of the Lord, because we feed off one another, But we definitely have people that we kind of partner up with and do things back and forth. That would be myself and the elder bro Yashawamba. We do a lot of tag teaming on Esau, Edom. All right, but this is going to be a good one because the curses are falling upon Esau, Edom. All right, so let me grab that. That's literally one of my favorite scriptures because we're literally watching it happen. And I pray often that they lose their health, their wealth, and their hope. All right, their health, their wealth, and their hope. And I'll pray that you join me in prayers like that. We put up the curses on them continually, and it's happening. But this is Deuteronomy 30:7, and it says, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and upon them that hate thee, and which persecute thee. And they have a system of Edomite supremacy that still oppresses us to this day. And they found clever ways of hiding it. But now these since Donald, even before Donald Trump, but especially since DJ Trump has gotten into office this second time, they're no longer hiding. Esau has been emboldened to push forth his hate. So before I play this video of the brother, the video that I was going to play last, I'm going to play first. And it's more shameful spewing on their glory. Whiteness is made up. It doesn't exist. All right. And probably about, I would say about somewhere around 2016, 15, I was, and this is Great Millstone. Now I've seen all kind of people bring this out, but I know that we brought it out, and I believe that I probably was the first amongst us to do so. All right, but this is a topic that Great Millstone speaks about all the time. And now I've seen other people in other videos and people, speaking on this subject matter with Dr. Jacqueline Badalora, who's a former lawyer and police officer and works in a college here in the Chicago area. So that's kind of how I found out about her. And she wrote a book called The Birth of a Nation. And in her book, she talks about, hold on, let me close this blind, get rid of this glare, Salakia. Usually dark when I do this. The sun is actually coming up. Close that blind. Yeah, that's a little better. And it was actually a historian named Theodore Allen that led me to Dr. Badalora. All right, or Jacqueline Badalora. All right, and well, without any further ado, we're just going to let her do the shameful spewing upon Esau's glory. So that's this. So this is a serious Job in 27:15 moment. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick before she shits on Esau. Let's read that. Job 27:15, it says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. So, there's a lot of there's division among the nation of Edom, and a lot of their women are, don't like Edomite men. Some of their women love them and stand by them to the end, but a huge portion of Edomite women do not like their men, and they can honestly see their men as the problem. All right.
White people did not exist before 1681. Again, white people did not exist on planet Earth until 1681. Number two, any claim that this group called white people, any claim that that group is rooted in biology or derived from genes or biology or is innate or is from nature is a lie. Third and final point, as a matter of foundational law, actually let me say it this way, white supremacy has been embedded in the United States of America from its founding.
So white supremacy is all based upon a pseudoscience, which was, created by and pushed by a couple of people, Johann Blumenbach being one of the main ones. All right. And then Freud. And whiteness is made up. They're the Edomites. Just like the Edomites became the Greeks after they replaced the melanated, dark-fleshed Minoans and the Etruscans, the Japhetic people of the part of Asia that they fraudulently call Europe. They made that up. Now that I said it, here's the receipt. Let me show the receipt from their own sources. This is my I'm inside my evidence file. And this is a definition from the 1850 dictionary I have on the shelf behind me from the Oxford of Eurasian. Okay. It says Europe, Asia, in sense the compound Eurasia of or pertaining to Eurasia, to Europe and Asia, considered as forming in reality one continent. All right. So it's one continent. Esau, Edom divided it, all right, into portions to support his pseudoscience, his lies, his fabricated lies. Remember, the word doctor means to fabricate, to falsify. Okay, you know how you doctor something up? That's why they're called physicians of no value in the Bible. Someone can put that on the comment board. But here, it also tells you in Timothy, this is 1 Timothy 6:20. And it reads, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. So we were warned through the Holy Scriptures that the Edomites would come along and try to, and not try, but actually do it, but actually control and rule over people based upon the fraud of pseudoscience, of false science. All right. You could think of the recent things that have happened with Dr. Fauci and his constituents. False pseudoscience to control and rule over the people. And then you still have, they show you how uneducated and unlearned the average Edomite is in America, even those with degrees. They still don't know their whiteness is made up collectively. All right. Yeah, and see, you're right. So this video was made in 2014. So yeah, I found it, this information in 2015, and kind of helped it to go viral, because we've been at Esau Edom slapping them in the face with this fact for quite some time, and she provided all the receipts. So you can go and watch this video in fullness for yourself if you've never seen it. And it's a little over 30 minutes, 36 minutes long. And she's got plenty of others. And she provides all the receipts. You could also look up the historian Theodore Allen. All right. And you can look up Dr. Robin DiAngelo. All right. Who this Italian chick who actually might be Jake. I think she's Sicilian. And she clearly don't care much for Esau Edom. She's going in on them just like Dr. Jacqueline Battlora. Either way, she's either Jake or it's Job 27:15 to the highest on their ass. They women are really turning on them. But unfortunately for their women, it's not going to save them. They're still Edomites. But nevertheless, let's get to this video that the brother put up. This is from Arrows of Indignation. And so this Esau Edom made it to where he was able to live comfortable for a very long time as he oppressed Jacob with this policy. All right. And he wants it to be that again. So it says Esau, in his own words, straight from the horse's mouth, make Babylon great again. Yeah. So let him speak. Copyright disclaimers already on display. This brother on point.
Here's the next question. If that's your name, what does Make America Great Again mean to you?
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
No, it isn't. Why don't you tell me? I want you to explain.
Which is why they boldly wear the hats and say it right in your face, man. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the 1950s and below, back to the 40s, back to the 30s, back to the 20s, back to the teens, when they stamped out and destroyed over 100 towns and neighborhoods that were Negroes were prosperous with their own banks, own schools, own movie theaters, own economies, own grocery stores. Families were together. They weren't no ghettos, no baby mamas, and none of that. Couples were married, right? All that was through Edomite supremacy. The breaking up of the family, the putting the man out and elevating the woman, and then drowning them in corn, morale breaking music and activities and entertainment that destroyed the family unit. That was Esau's doing. Well, I always tell you that the ninja in America, all right, these YNs, these ninjas in America, that is an Edomite creation. It's their policy that created that. They weren't like that in 1940, 1930, 1950. Even the early 1960s when their families were together. It was the late 60s when all this wickedness really began to kick in and destroy the so-called black family. And ultimately, now that same curse is upon Esau. Edom had to say it.
Explain it to me. I want to pick your brain.
And it was at 144. I looked up and saw it when I said that.
We are going to bring back a white supremacy. We're going to bring back white order.
You want to bring back white? You want to bring back white supremacy?
White supremacy never left, my man. It never left.
Is that what you just said? Did I hear you right?
Absolutely.
So make America, thank you for being honest. So make America great again to you means bringing back.
And I used this piece already in a a portion of this clip in a video before, but it's all right. A couple people sent it to me yesterday again.
White supremacy.
We're going to bring it back, and we're going to make this country great again like it used to be.
If you don't mind me asking you, Adolf, is that why you voted for Donald Trump? Because you want to bring back white supremacy? Is that one of the reasons why you voted for Donald Trump?
Hell yeah.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. So you want to make America white. So that was my question. Make America great again. To you, does it mean make America white again?
Absolutely.
It does, okay.
What that means is that Edomite cops can beat the hell out of, railroad, lie, falsify information, send Jakes to jail, both Negroes and so-called Latinos. Edomites could basically do what they want to anyone of color and not face any sort of legal consequences, including rape and murder, because that happened a lot here in America. Lots of hangings, lots of rapes, lots of murders, beatings, land theft, you name it. They did all sort of manner of wickedness to our people and never paid for it. All right. And the bill is due.
Now, why would we not want to have our country be how it used to be when it was great, when we were back in control?
So do you think it was great when black people were owned as slaves and women couldn't vote? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I'm not going back that far. I wasn't around, but, in my earlier years, it was great.
Why was it great? What was different in your early... I don't know how old you are, sir, but what was great in your earlier years, besides the claiming that you support white supremacy, which is bigoted and racist in nature, which I find very troubling but not shocking? What back in your earlier days was so great that's changed now for the worse? Can you explain that to me?
We had whites with the jobs. We had whites being able to support their family.
Well, how can whites aren't able to support their family now?
Yes. Well, no. A lot of them, black people took our jobs.
Were you just about ready to use the N-word on this show?
The Mexicans are coming over here and they're taking jobs.
So the same old bullshit excuses, man. It's Ecclesiastes 12. And 3, it says, in the days when the keeper of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the door shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. This is a condition of the battle. This is the prophecies coming to pass, that their precious Babylon is falling. All right, it's falling. Amalek is being ousted, and actually being Esau is completely and totally divided. Amalek against the rest of Edom. The Edomites are finally calling out, the fraud that is Judaism, or the people connected to that, I should say. All right, because Judaism is not biblical. All right, it isn't. They worship from the Talmud. They follow the Babylonian Talmud. That's fact. That's not anti any goddamn thing. That's fact. All right. The Holy Scriptures in Isaiah the 36th chapter, 34th chapter, around the 16th verse, exclusively and tells you that only the Holy Scriptures are to be used. All right. You don't make the Bible with another book. And anyone that does so, well, Isaiah 8:20 applies. Okay. So these peoples are frauds up and down, and they're divided. Okay. Which is why a house divided cannot stand. They are going to fail.
And quite frankly, there's a lot of my fellow whites that can't get jobs or work, support their family.
I want to ask you another question, and I mean this in a serious question. Are you a member of the Proud Boys or the Klan? Please be honest with me. Are you a member of a right-wing white fringe group?
I know people. I hang out with the people.
Okay,
and
so then all of the okay, that
he
was
hangs out with the people. So, you know, guilty by association, man. RICO Act on your ass from heaven, man. The Lord is coming to get all of you Edomites, man. Point blank, period. Your own folly, it tells you that you will be victims of. That's one of your devices. All right. And so you're about to get a RICO Act from the heavens, from on high, on your pale asses. But you can see that this guy is, you know, he's kind of pinkish. Even the interviewer. There's no such thing as white people. They made that bullshit up. All right. So here, the next one. So now what is Esau going to do? He's just simply about to bring that sword. This is Wisdom of Solomon. I think it's 2 and 10 or 11. Yeah. 2 and 10. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found nothing worth. And that is and always has been the basis of this fraudulent, made-up white supremacy. This is how they operate. Let our strength be the law of justice. So not actual justice, not what's fair, what's good. We write these things down on paper, and then we don't honor them. All right? They broke over 500 treaties with the Northern Kingdom here in America as they were stealing land, raping, robbing, and murdering. What do you think the word squaw means? All right. I remember in that movie. I think it was the Revenant, when they tied the Gadite woman to the tree, facing the tree, and with her arms hugging it. All right, and then they would just all come up behind her and have their way with her and go sit back by the fire. All right, while she was tied to the tree in the cold. And then go back to the fire and drink. And then the next one, when he you know, and he felt he was ready, he would get up. She's tied facing the tree with her ass out. This is the true nature of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. And a bob ball to all you Israelite women who willfully go with them and bring forth their tear babies. Like Candace Owens just brought forth another tear, a little brown Edomite. All right. Woe unto you. The hell is happening?
Tom, Michael,
Slovakia. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's playing now.
Well, this isn't good, y'all. ICE has now signed over 506 agreements across 38 states, deputizing civilians to act as immigration agents.
And those civilians are going to be people like Adolf in the last, you know, a lot of those guys are going to be right-wing militias, KKK types. All right. And right now they're targeting the Northern Kingdom. But you best believe we have a saying here among GMS that Northern Kingdom gets it first. That'll be the Spanish-speaking Israelites south of the border. All right. But then Judah gets it the worst. And that's pretty much what's about to happen. It's starting to happen. It's actually in play.
Let that sink in for a minute. Your neighbor, your local deputy, maybe even your supermarket security guard, now given power to detain and question people like a fucking ICE agent. No serious training, no real oversight, just power handed out like it's candy. This is about to get crazy.
Guys, you might want to start double checking who your real friends are, because ICE just signed over 500 agreements across 38 states, deputizing everyday citizens to act as immigration agents. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking police, jail guards, your pharmacist, your kid's school resource officer, even university security. In Florida, all 67 counties have said, yeah, we're in, and now they're looking at college campuses too. So the same campus cops who are around breaking up frat parties might now be trained to detain someone for immigration violations. This also means your barista could smile at you in the morning and could also be trained to hold you while ICE processes your status. This expansion includes models that were banned before due to racial profiling. Now they're back and with zero oversight. We are sliding into full surveillance mode by neighbors deputized as watchdogs. If you think this won't affect you, you're already late. This is legal but not safe. A series that proves legality will not protect you. Follow me if you still believe in due process and dignity, because the government just handed 500 keys to ICE and they're unlocking something very, very dangerous.
Okay, what is happening? So now the government and ICE have now deputized people like school resource officers, campus security officers, maybe even a pharmacist. They now get to detain people, that they get to racial profile, and then they get to say that these people need to be deported, or they're held first while they process your status. Like, can you imagine if that was happening? Like, every single day, people, you never know who it is, that now has been deputized to then come and claim that you're from a different country, even when you're not. Like, if you think this hasn't affected you yet, you're already late. This is insane. Things are getting scary. They're actually already scary. They're getting scarier. And I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about this, but just be aware of the situation. Pay attention to things. Pay attention to those around you. Also, now I don't know who we're supposed to trust anymore. Okay, fair enough. I'd want to know too. Here, this is from, you can see this is from ICE.gov. It talks about their ICE's 287G program that talks about doing the... That talks about deputizing people 38 states, across 38 states. That's your actual source. It is the source of the information, the one people that are doing it. So it's probably the best source that you can possibly find. You can go look it up yourself. I literally just screenshot so you can see it says ice.gov and the program. I didn't screenshot the whole part about it, which you can go read yourself if you'd like to. That's the source. Also, a whole bunch of news stations are reporting on it. All you have to do is Google it. You'll find this information. This is like actually happening. It's not false. It's not fear mongering. It's not doing any of that. It's actually real. It's actually happening. So go look for yourself. See what you think. Let me know.
Shock and awe, disinformation continues. Is it really deputizing regular citizens? Is it using a specific authority? Yes, it is. Has that authority ever been used before? Yes, it has. Oh, who was it? Was it Obama who used it? No, these are like using other state officers, other police agencies, Fish and Wildlife, other people when resources are limited, perhaps for ICE agents in certain places, to be able to help ICE.
Look, man.
Follow me if you still believe in due.
We got scattered among them, and now it's going to be a curse among them. This is Zechariah, a curse among Esau. It's going to be a curse that is going to come upon them from on high. This is Zechariah 8:13. It said, "It shall come to pass that ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel. So will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong," because the Lord is going to unleash Judah. Judah will be roused up. All right. It said, who shall rouse them up? Let me see if I can find that real quick. And with all these things that are happening, in fact, I'm having a hard time finding. Somebody could just put that on the comment board. But it says, but who shall rouse them up? And Judah's getting roused up. And see, Esau, Edom, he believed in his pseudosciences, lies about how many so-called black people there are, how many so-called white people there are, and they actually think that they're going to win these racial skirmishes that are going to come up, and they're going to kill a lot of Jake. They're going to kill a lot of the 2/3 who are already marked for death. Flip side of that coin is, though, the Lord is going to put a spirit on some of those 2/3 to be spirits of vengeance. All right, they're going to be spirits of vengeance, and they're going to their spirits are going to get elevated, so they're going to do damage to a lot of these Edomites. And these Edomites believe in these fake numbers. It's 14% bullshit. It's way more Negroes and people of color than you've accounted for. You got to remember, they through pseudoscience, false science, lies, fake statistics, they elevate and pump up the white numbers for voting and for monies and political reasons. Because you got to remember that bringing in people from North Africa and from parts of Western Asia that are clearly not white, they get labeled as so-called white, you know. And this is just something that Esau, Edom does. He's a liar, man. You know, they lie about everything. And you know, and the Lord is going to destroy them. He says that matter of fact, let's get Obadiah. It says like sparks, man. Obadiah can say it better than I did. Because the end result is this. This is Obadiah. I'm going to start at verse 17. And it reads, but upon Mount Zion, that's the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, who going to give you Edomites no due process. Your due process is going to be the sword and fire. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. All right, so that's the northern and southern kingdom. You think you're just going to be facing the Negroes? No, you're not. And even the other heathens are going to be getting at you, Edomites. You are greatly despised. All right. And the house of Esau shall be for stubble. You're going to be the stubble, the fire, the ash in the fire, man. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Lord, for Yahweh has spoken it. And they shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain of Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. So basically, this what I just read happens after your fall, after your slavery. After 1,000 years, double, according to the Holy Scriptures, Revelation 18:6, after you serve double the captivity that we did and way more cruel, the most cruel, brutal, matter of fact, I'm just read it. Chattel slavery known to men. Because the scriptures clearly in Joel said that the Jew is going to sell your children all over the world. All right. You're going to get shipped all over the world. All right. To serve 1,000 years of the most brutal slavery under the worst conditions that you could ever even imagine, man. And we're going to have the power to, we're going to literally work you to death, bring you back to life, and let you finish out your sentence. All right. We're going to actually be able to do that. Thus saith the Holy Bible. But this is Revelation 18:6. I'm going to start at verse 5. Oh, yeah, this is definitely talking about Esau, Edom. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 2 and read down to 6. Point is in 6. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and become a habitation of devils, deceivers, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. This place is full of hate, lies, and deceit. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. That's why they hate you. All right. They can't believe that they followed your red ass. Lying, talking about white. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. This is how you know that that's not Saudi Arabia. Any of you idiots saying that need to shut your dumb ass up. I say again, any of you saying that need to shut your dumb ass up. All right. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye may receive not of her plagues. What that means is don't worship and follow her ways, not physically come out of her. The deliverance out of here, the physically coming out of here, is from the Lord. All right. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities. So his wickedness has finally reached into the heavens now, man. Verse 6, reward her even as she have rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So that cup of wrath, so brothers whose plantation is going to be called cup of wrath. All right. You best believe I'll be sending some of my slaves this way, you know, so that they can go and serve on Camp Cup of Wrath. Okay. These people have no idea what's about to happen to them, biblically and scripturally. And the ones that do are in major panic, and those are the ones who have the multi-billion-dollar bunkers and stuff, which is going to, and which is the thing that's going to ensure their survival, so that they could be the first fruits of slavery, just as the Bible says. There's no running from your judgment. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, Kwam, Yasharala, Abba Babal.